Although the only case diagnosed on American soil so far is the one in Texas, healthcare workers in our area believe they would have the procedures in place should there be a case here. Medical professionals talking today with Fox 11's Alex Rinaldo about those procedures. And Alex, what did you find out?
Well, Tom, I found out the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention laid out directives for hospitals and health departments to follow if Ebola makes its way here. I went to an area hospital to see how that process would work. Here is the straight story. At Theta Clark in Neenah, staff members are well aware of how to deal with the Ebola virus.
Work with our staff to remind them what isolation practices are needed and what the presentation of the patient could potentially be.
Infection preventionist Mickey Gold says a patient with Ebola symptoms would be isolated in a room away from others. Also, anyone entering that room would be well protected.
We will be wearing the gowns, gloves, masks, face shields to protect our mucous membranes, our hands.
If a patient were to come into the emergency room exhibiting signs of Ebola, they would be asked very specific questions, particularly about travel.
Because certain diseases like this one are prone to certain areas. So if you say, yes, I was over in the African area, that would be crucial for us to narrow our scope of where the infection is.
Local health departments would also play an important role if Ebola were found here. Kurt Egebrecht with the Appleton Health Department says staff would perform what's called a contact investigation on the patient.
Where were they? Who did they have contact with? And try to get what's known as a contact list.
The department would reach out to any of those people to let them know of possible infection and report findings to the state. Egebrecht says there is no infrastructure like this in place in West Africa.
With hope that as people are watching the spread and the numbers of cases in Africa, to recognize that would be very different here, in my opinion.
Egebrecht tells us it would be easier to stop a spread of the Ebola virus here. And like with many other illnesses, healthcare workers recommend hand washing as one good way of avoiding the Ebola infection. Reporting live in the Valley Newsroom, Alex Rinaldo, Fox 11 News.